Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our Tuesday night edition of the Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Furman Jackson, Jingle Broadcast, once again out of DFW, Data for World Texas Metropolitan Area. And I'm very excited, very honored, very proud to have my guest on here. She's no stranger to the platform. She was on here probably, almost a year or two around that time.
Something like that, yeah.
About a year by that time. But she's a very, very, very talented woman. She does a lot of things in her city, from poetry to writing books. She's also into television programming as well. Just enough just to put it out there to the audience. But I want to thank Portia, of course, aka Thick Nubia Gaudius here once again on the platform to talk about all this she does. I have two of her books ready. The Diary of a Former Sex Addict, which I have. This is my library. Yeah. And also the one, her Heart's Terminology as well. Had this book is also that she had sent me. And like I said, she's doing a lot of great things. That's what we love here on the show. We love people who do extraordinary things, that's doing things that's positive, putting out that positive energy, that positive vibe, and most importantly, utilizing their gifts and their talents that God has blessed upon them, restored upon them to make an impact everywhere they go. So, Portia, how are you doing this evening? Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on here tonight. To talk about your book writing, the things you're doing in your city, all of the great stuff that you're doing and you're being consistent with. So how have you been doing?
Everything's good overall. No complaints. No complaints at all. So, thank you for having me back on the show. You have grown, and I wanted to say congratulations on that. Yeah, doing good things, and it feels good that somebody in Dallas, Texas, knows about Thick Nubian Goddess. Because I'm in Philly.
Oh yeah, I know. I said,
Yeah.
but you know what, Portia, I thank you. I like to say I respect people. I respect greatness. I respect the things that people are doing, who not just talking about it, but being about it. I mean, being about their business, because we could dream all day long, but if we don't
Yes.
put in the work, if we don't put in the effort, what it's gonna be? It's just a dream.
Yep.
But but like I said, just give us a rundown who you are. Which I know you're no stranger on the platform, but those who get to know you for the very first time.
Yes. Yeah, so my name is Portia, also known as Thick Nubian Goddess, the erotic poet, author. And well, I've gotten back more into. I'm getting ready to do a show out here in Philly on Saturday, November 16th. So over the last, let's say, it's been about a year that I haven't been with the TV company I used to be with, but I'm no longer with that company. But I still do my podcast, Vibrations. My sister and I, shout out to Jay Shari. So we've been streaming on all platforms. Well, we don't do the live thing like what you guys do, but we
Hmm.
you can listen to us. And we got that up and running again over the summer. And like I said, I decided to go back into doing shows. Like I actually put my brand out there and put the shows together. So we're having our first. This is the first one in a long time because I haven't done my own Thick Nubian Goddess experience show in like maybe 3 years, 3 or 4 years. So, and then I'm book wise, dropping a book. It's a ebook only, but it's called The Danger Zone. It's erotic, my specialty. It comes out November 30th, and it'll be on Amazon, and it's only gonna be $2.99. Like it's let's see what else, what other rundown. I mean, I worked with various people who are doing great things out in Philly, like Ken Jones. I think he, what is it called? I think wine poetry or something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong. I think it's out there in the Texas area, something like
Okay.
that. Like I think don't he's gonna be on my show on Saturday, and he's been doing real good. He's a comedian and a comedian and a poet, and he's been doing really well with. And let's see, I want to make sure I get it all out there. Of course, my forever people that I've been working with for like 5 years. Kid and I, or DJ and I, DJ Jock. It's so many people, but I want like I just wanted to make sure I shout them out because once we start getting talking into about some more things, I might forget, and it's like charge to the mind, not the heart type thing. But yeah, shout. I just been keeping it moving. Like that's the best way to say it. Still writing. Um, Eventually I'll get back into recording like video. Oh, and I've been putting out EP, erotic poetry. I put out two new singles this year, so it'll catch on eventually. People, some folks have listened, so. I mean, I mainly performed the erotic poetry, but I felt like putting it on, put it on platforms. Yeah,
Right.
see what happens.
Anyways, you know what? This was all about seeing what happens and
Mm.
try. Well, I won't say the word try, but we're gearing into new things, attempting new things. Okay, and going to this arena. And I know the title of his episode is "A Writer Poetry with Touch of Reality." Give people the rundown on that when you say a writer poet with a touch of reality, because when it comes to your poet, it's like addressing the elephant in the room. Um, Having that experience. So give us a rundown on what it means when it says the ride forward with a touch of reality.
So basically, I'm an erotic poet, but I also, I'm not. Some people think all I do is lay naked all day writing nasty stuff, posting nasty stuff. So that's why it's like it's a touch of reality because in real life, I'm in scrubs during the day. Like I'm out here, I'm out here trying to save lives and also write some, stuff to get people juices flowing and just basically get your mind open
Right.
to understand that, we're also sexual beings. It doesn't have to be overly stimulating, what I mean, sexual,
Right. What
but
you mean?
you know what I mean? Like tap into yourself. Like for instance, my poem called it's my favorite one. It's called Deep. And it's about oral sex, but it's like very um it's sensual. Like it's like I feel like that's one of my most sensual ones. It's like I say, it's time to open your third eye with my mouth. Like I'm talking about some, but I love to write like that. I
Right.
mean, then I have the poem. Then I got the poems that's like just out there, straight out. Like this is what I'm talking about. But I love to put it like that. Give you something to think about, And I mean, my biggest thing that I love when I perform is the reaction of the crowd because um I like to perform. I don't just
Hmm.
like to, I do open mics. Like I've gone to some open mics and just said the poetry, but it's nothing like when I really get into my thick Nubian goddess and put it out there. I want visualize what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oftentimes it gets put like men think I'm saying it specifically to them, and that comes with the territory.
Right.
So
But you know what, Portia? I mean, women. I know you a woman. Women, y'all love to be feminine. Y'all love to be sexy, and women, y'all are more sexual than men, of course. But women wants to feel sexy. Women want to feel feminine without being judged. And I know we're in a society now. I don't want to say men, but males
I
looking
like that.
down on women, judging women. Oh, she's for the streets. She this and that, but be the main ones in her DM,
Oh
hollering at
yeah.
her, want to talk to her, send
Mhm.
all types of pictures, but be on social media. Oh, she's for the streets and stuff like that. But women wants to be sexy, and a man wants his woman to feel sexy at all times. Wants to be comfortable in her sexuality. Wants her to be comfortable in her femininity, of course. And so, had just like Halloween, we see on Halloween a lot of women wear dress sexy because women want to be sexy without being
Mhm.
judged. And we know that there are a lot of males judging women. What do you say about that?
So okay, so here, all right. Here's my spew on it because I'm glad you asked. So at the end of the day, I feel like when men have a problem with women expressing their being,
Right.
like they are it's like a false sense of entitlement.
Hmm.
And also, do you want to take your shirt off? Is that what the problem is? Because you don't take your own shirt off and post your own picture of you in your boxers feeling sexy. You know what I mean? Like, is that what it is? You're overly possessive. Um, this is only for me when in all actuality ain't no ring on it. So it ain't all for you. It's and then even people who are married who do express their sexuality, it's all about men. It's all about understanding being secure in
Right.
oneself. Because when you are secure in your relationship, your marriage, whatever the case may be, yourself, then if your woman likes to dress a certain kind of way, not saying she dressed like that all the time,
Right.
but if she wanna dress a certain kind of way and feel it, and um, I think it's easier when it's encouraged
Yeah.
versus like so back in my when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I had this boyfriend. We like to go outside and do real role play, act like we don't know each other, all that kind of stuff, right? And I felt like that was, I mean, even though I don't want to be with this individual, but I like that I experienced that with a man, like
Hmm.
that he was, cool with the fact that there was a lot of men trying to get on me and talk to me that night, but we walked off together, and that was always our thing anyway. Like as long as we might not walk in together, but we gonna leave together.
Right.
So I just feel like it's too much judgment on um what a standard is supposed to be because everybody's standards are different.
Right.
Whereas, there are women who, stay covered up and look down on women who show some skin. And
Mm-hmm.
there's women who show skin and look down on women who cover up. And I just feel like at the end of the day, if we all learn to mind our business and to each his own, and just, if I see somebody half dressed, 500 pounds, if they look nice to them, then that's all that matters. That's just
True.
me. I've just never, I've never been, unless I feel like, being on one and talking trash, but that individual would never know I'm talking trash because I would never put that on them if I want. You know what I mean? We all crack jokes and ha ha ha's about. I'm not talking about people who are big or anything, but just in general. Like, oh girl, she shouldn't wear that. But that individual won't know that I said that because I would never come up to them and be like, yeah, like, nah, that's not my thing. It's not my thing. Never been my thing. And when it comes to men and their way of talking trash, like you said, I got plenty of receipts when some of these men's that be like, say, any man that asks me, I tell him I'm for the streets and I'm at home. I'm at home.
but
And but I
but you
say
know what
it.
it be. But you
Mm,
know what it be, Portia. It be the guys, and hear me if I'm wrong. It be the guys that you don't see in that way. Well, okay, I could be with him in a sexual way because I know a lot of guys. They come out being creepy. They
yes,
come out being thirsty,
thirsty,
desperate,
desperate,
and all the other
crazy.
crazy, yeah, and all that other crazy stuff. But just
Mm,
getting back to the more of the story we talked about, men, I'm gonna say, okay, men have to learn how to be more sexual when it comes to their lady. They have to learn how to
yes,
tap into their sex and learn how to
yes,
be romantic, learn how to be a lover, learn how
yep,
to be kinky and all of this stuff. Cause a lot of guys, well, I know you got men out there who are comfortable in their sex when it comes to their woman, pleasing
yep,
their woman mentally and all of the other stuff. But some guys have not tapped into that. They think it's all about I'm getting on top of you, I'm a pound, and that's it.
dominance.
Yeah, but they don't understand the mental
Mm-hmm.
aspect of when it comes to being intimate with the lady. What you want to say about that?
So when it comes down, I am big on having that discussion, because I feel like there is the issue because a lot of time because men aren't taught to be vulnerable within themselves. So how, being sensual on a woman, you know what I mean, without feeling like a sense of control over them, like trying to
Right.
overpower them. Instead, like just connecting and becoming one with them, you know? And shoot, I mean, it I would tell men, I don't care. I would tell men to dance for me, right? And I know they don't know how I dance, but I would just tell them like, go ahead, I dance. I just so they can get comfortable with
Right.
themselves.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're pushing your insecurity out on me, on
Mm,
what because of what you see, on how you feel about yourself. You know, I was in a relationship where that person was deeply insecure, and eventually it poured out. I knew that they were trying to hide it because it would sneak up here and there, but it was like, yo, you gotta really you gotta love yourself and heal and take care of you, because you're not gonna be able to open up. Like a lot of people think, oh yeah, like a man some men think, oh yeah, I'm a freak. Okay, just because you might can go a little extra 10 minutes or you like to lick a certain body part real good, that don't necessarily mean you a freak, because if it ain't nothing behind it, you know what I mean?
right.
Because from it's easy for y'all to, well, I mean, some women too. I can't say it's all men when it comes down to having detached sex, because
Mm-hmm.
women can do that too. Um, but I think that there's just a lot of detachment when it comes down to, men and women in general with sex. And there are people, I know people who have been married and they got really good intimate, you could tell like they're really good and within. Then you got the ones who are like very prudish, and it's like one don't want to open up, and just,
Right.
it's like they feel like if they do that, like they lose a control or like a power. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I feel like men, that's why one of the things that I always do is I had to learn because I growing up, I thought men didn't have feelings growing up. I
Hmm.
thought men didn't have feelings, they all liars, they all cheaters. That's how I used to think. And then an epiphany hit me and I was like, "Oh, men do got feelings. Oh, y'all really for real? Like, oh, it's not just women, And in all honesty, I feel like y'all more emotional than women because y'all are taught so hard to suppress it that it just
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's like I think one, and I've met men also. I'm not discrediting. I've met men who carry themselves very well on the secure type and get it and they know, what I mean? Like they know they're good
Hmm.
with it. You know, so I just think it's all about like a learning experience
Yeah.
on it, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna bash because a lot of people and a lot of men are taught sex through porn
Right. Yeah,
and
that's it.
you know what I mean? And a lot of men are taught that all you're supposed to do is reproduce. You know what I mean? Like there's different, like men I never learned about I learned about this later about semen retention with men who can have sex and not come and be content.
Hmm.
Like, and that's powerful. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I think men need to really tap in on like you said, on a sexy side. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and not just on a sassy side because I've been seeing a lot of sassiness with the men too. Like because they need to control their emotions that they just and all over the place and it's like what?
You're right
Like
about that.
literally. Hmm.
But you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. And like I said, and just as you was talking, I was listening to the word growth just came to me because this is a growing. When I say growing, to learn how to be more sexual. Because like I
Mm-hmm.
said, they go both in. Because some women have, I mean, they think sex just come together, pound, and that's it. But it's more. It's not just that physical, but it's also that mental aspect.
And
Is
spiritual.
and
Let's not forget.
spiritual
Mm-hmm.
and as spiritual where I can tap in that she thinks about you when you're not there, or you think about her when she's not there, and you tap in that way. But it's that why are people so afraid? Like it's so afraid they worry about what other people think. That's the problem right there.
Yeah.
Worrying about what other people think.
Yeah. That's like the no. That's just it right there. That's why I said like when you learn to block out and you just block out outside noise and you really sit and focus on like who are you? You know what I mean?
That's
Like
it.
who are you? And what you like and what you don't like, it makes a big difference.
Hmm.
And you're gonna be more vocal about it. You know what I mean? Because there's I've experienced men who've had bad sex and then they have sex with me and it's like a totally different thing because it's like a lot of women not tapped into their sexy neither. They just think that they got a hole in the mouth and no art to what they doing. Like and same with I feel like it's no sex discrimination when it comes down to tapping in. Like I know some prudish I've met and known some prudish women and I literally be like, mm. I mean, I'm not, if a man decides to step out on a woman, that's his decision. But I always tell women, if a man steps out on you, and it comes out, the last thing you want to hear is if he try to make it seem like anything on you. Because if you made sure you did what you supposed to do, that's the last thing they can say. You know what I mean? Like if they wanted to try to blame anything sexual on you, anything non-sexual on you, it don't even matter. Cause some men they'll do that like, well, she wasn't this and that, and then that's why I was messing with her. And then you never wanted to be that way. You want that individual if they choose to step out on you to look like just like what they are, a piece of shit, and they did you wrong and you were so good and you know what I mean? Like, cause even with women too, it doesn't matter. Like if a person wants to step out, they're gonna step out. But as long as you know you didn't do anything, like you did everything you were supposed to do, that's all that matters. If that makes sense,
No, Portia,
you
I'm gonna
know.
say this, Portia. It falls
Mm-hmm.
on the man. It falls on his leadership. You know, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to bring that sexual side out of your woman, you have to initiate that. See what it is. A lot of these guys, they got to ask y'all for permission. Okay, we together. Why I got to ask for permission to touch you? If we together, when I got to ask, hey, let's do this tonight. You, the man, got to take the initiative. You know what I'm saying? You got,
Yeah.
and what it is, Portia. A lot of these guys are afraid are afraid to say what they want. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They're afraid because if that's your girl, tell her what you want. You know, y'all gonna say what y'all want. You know what I'm saying? No
A
if
lot of
ands or
times
buts
we
about it.
do. Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's just a fling, hey, I just want to do this. We're not in a relationship. You gonna be bold. Y'all be bold with it. A guy, he wants that, but he gotta lie. He gotta manipulate. He gotta do all this stuff, but all deep down inside, that's all he wanted to do was smash. We are adults here. We having this on the conversation on the show, but that's how they think. But if they stop lying and being manipulative, and if she's feeling you on that romantic sexual level, she's
Mm-hmm.
gonna give it to you. But if she's not, she's just not. And I see a
Right.
lot of guys on social media, and I know you see it like this time too, Portia. They tell these guys, no, get your muscles, get your money up, money, clothes, and status. But if she's not feeling you on that sexual, romantic level, you can have all the muscles you want. You can have all the money you want. You can drive the nicest ride. But if you're not, she's not on that level with you, she's not gonna give you the time of day. I'm
And
just
that
saying.
no, no, that's true. That's true.
Cause a
And
lot of
and
guys
I
go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say that that's true. And oddly enough, you know, it sometimes that could just come off, even having all your nice clothes and this and that. For me, you can look all nice, have it all together on the outside, but as soon as you open your mouth, I'm not even turned on. You just say I'm dumb to me. Like there are people, I'm not just straight off looks. I had to learn to stop being that way, because you realize you can't have a decent conversation with someone. And then back to what you said about the whole flinging thing, fling. The problem with men with that is that they want they don't. There's a lot of women who are truly down with just sex and don't want nothing else. The problem is they they align themselves, and they like the fact that they're doing that to a person who wants more out of them, because it make them feel like they
Mm,
power. It's a power thing, because when they meet the girl who is just like them, yeah, I just want to fuck. They don't like it. It takes the thrill out for them, because it's like, oh man, you doing what I'm doing. This ain't no, you don't want me. I like that she want me, and I'm treating her this way. It feel good to them. It's a power thing.
right.
That's why I like, back to what I said earlier. Anybody that asks, I'm for the streets, even though I'm at home.
Yeah, home.
I'm at home minding my business, and funny enough, I write all, like, people think I just sit butt naked right now. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, it's just naturally who I am. And it's not because I'm sleeping with bunches of guys.
Right.
I'm just tapped in. Like, I've been this way all my life. I've been sexual for a very long time. Once I discovered, like, the difference between boy and girl at a young age, it was like, oh, I mean, I ain't been having sex. I mean, I started having sex at some kids young, but as a teenager. But
Right.
I was already experimenting, like, sexually,
Mm-hmm.
um, at a very young age, because it was like, oh, I don't know. I just born. For me, I can say I was born this way. Like, I've
Mm-hmm.
just always been tapped in. And it doesn't mean I was just doing a bunch of freaked out stuff. It's just I just been very self-aware
Right.
and very into myself, being self-aware. Like, I
Right.
don't have I don't have to sleep with nobody. I can sleep with me, because that's
Right.
how that's just how. Like I'm just very into, but
Right.
I mean,
I mean,
we going.
that's what it is because, like I said, women are more sexual. Like I say, y'all, like I say, you want to be sexy all the time. You want to be feminine all the time without being judged. And like I said, we see it's more male counterparts now that are passing judgment on these women, but
Mhm.
at the same time being their inbox.
Yeah, because they fear rejection. They don't like rejection. They feel entitled because you're showing your body. When I show my body, I'm really showing it for me. And
Hmm.
I like, because I'm in love with me so much that I don't mind being in front of a camera and be
That's it.
like, hey, you know what I mean? It ain't. And if there wasn't, before there was a camera, on God, before there was a camera, before there was social media, I was just like this. I have a bunch of pictures, just pictures, and a camera. Or I just stand in the mirror and pretend I'm in the camera. Because always been just into me. It's just,
Right.
some people do it for the validation, do it for the gram, all that kind of stuff. It's like, for me, no, I'm just, even if there was no gram, I would just be this way regardless. And some social gathering would know this of me somehow, some way. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for men, it is. They're really just about entitlement because they misconstrue the community. Now, some women are thirst trapping, and you'll know that. You'll know that if you saw her DM, she want to talk to you, then she wanted your attention. But if you saw her DM and she's uninterested, let her be. Don't talk. You mad because you could never.
Let's
You
move on.
Yeah, move on. That's the problem. Lecker not knowing how to accept rejection. Women accept rejection. I have to accept rejection. There's men I've given my phone number to and it was a bust, or men that I met out on the street. Like, I accept the rejection. I just move on because I say, all right, if you don't want me, that's fine, because it just means somebody better coming.
That's
Or
it.
some better men's is coming. It's just what it is. Like, I'm
Right.
not gonna be, you know what I mean? Move on, Prince. Nah, sorry to say, but a lot of men been acting like princesses, and I'd say, move on, princess. Like, you know.
Yeah. They be upset about it, and like I said, they in they feeling they very emotional. A lot of them
Mhm.
got a lot of daddy issues because you have a lot of guys who come from single mothers, or not knocking single mothers, but they guys now they don't have no dad in their life. They never had a father. If they did have a father, he was not a man and taught them how to treat a woman. A lot of guys only they was taught was provide, work, go out there and work, hustle, which is good, but
Right,
never be when it comes to being romantic when it comes to their lady.
right. Addressing your feelings, addressing that is a part of you. It's like men and women. Yes, we know men provide, or and women, we get out there and we work, but we still, you know, we're more, that's just the difference. We're all supposed to be tapped into our emotions, all, not
Hmm.
just one-sided. It's just a
Right.
matter of controlling them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Controlling them. And I feel like over time I've seen that women have gotten more better at controlling their emotions than the men. Whereas we've learned to, especially the women I've seen and known, we've learned to communicate better without having to, you know, um, overly exalt ourselves. Because,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? We learn, like, oh, okay, we pay attention, we're observant. Men are observant too, but they observe, I don't know, I feel like, I mean, I can't.
Well, I say that men
Mhm.
are
Yeah,
males not men are
yeah.
because they know how to maneuver. They know how, they move in a certain way
Hmm.
and they approach things in a certain way. But we know it's always something about the female counterpart that you know what I'm saying that does
Yeah,
something for the man because we need y'all. You know what I'm saying? We need each
right.
other.
We
We
need each
represent
other.
each other. We come in each other. You know what I'm saying? It's something different about the comfort of a woman that man's presence. It's just something there because y'all bringing that, even though we got that masculinity going on, but y'all
Hmm.
bringing that femininity along with us, with y'all, that balance everything out that makes sense.
Right,
Because,
exactly.
yeah,
And we
because, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, we all, men and women both, we both have masculine and feminine energy. Both. It's just a matter of tapping in. and controlling, tapping in and
Right. And
controlling
learn.
exactly, and learning and understanding that evolution is inevitable.
Right.
Rather, it's you decide to go along with it or it's forced upon you to evolve. Like, we're in a day and age where women are more comfortable with themselves. And then, there's many subcategories that go into that on a man's perspective that I've heard men say when it comes to women being more comfortable with themselves or what have you. But at the end of the day, it's like, they're, like I said, at the end of the day, it's like a matter of dominance and understanding that we're all our own individual. Like, whether you're in a relationship or not, if you met a woman half naked on a gram and y'all in a relationship and she still half naked on the gram, it's up to her if she decides to stop being naked, half naked on the gram, because that's what she wants to do. Not, oh, I
Right.
got a man now. One of the biggest problems I've ran into is people not under men not understanding that I am thick Nubian goddess, whether I'm in a relationship or not. It's a brand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an erotic poet, whether I'm with you or not. And for you to
Right.
decide to tell me that I gotta stop being who I am because I'm with you when you met me that way, that's not, it's messed up. It's like if I met a man, if I met a drug dealer and had him as a boyfriend, then all of a sudden, I wish you still selling drugs. I met you that way. It gotta be up to you to stop. It gotta be up to you to evolve to that or not, if that's what you
Mm-hmm.
want. And a lot of times people, including myself, made uncomfortable decisions on me that I shouldn't have done. Like, and that's just anything that a person wants to do has to be because they truly want to do it wholeheartedly. Now, if you're there are people when it comes down to compromise, and I get that, but I also understand that certain things are not up for a compromise when it tries to completely change who a person is when you met them a certain kind of way. Like, you want to change the individual, you need to get an individual that fits what you want because you're with
Mm-hmm.
someone who's the total opposite of what you're asking for. And then you
Right.
make believe things on the person that isn't there. And I've done it before in men, and men have damn sure done it before in me. It's like, I ain't never told you I was like that. Where you get this from? I've never even displayed this to you. And then get mad, like literally get mad. Oh my God. I've experienced some things where I'm literally like, what? I know, like it's a journey. I can honestly say, like, this man and woman situation is a journey, and like for men with the whole, like, if I saw a man, because I do, I see men online with no shirt on. I like I might hit the like button. I see men online with just their boxers. I might hit the like button, I might not. If you comfortable with yourself, cool. And you posting that, cool. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have this, we don't have the same body parts, but it's still the same T. Like, you know what I mean? It's still the same T. If there's probably a woman out there to a man who likes to post stuff, why you keep posting it on the gram, making that letting everybody see what I see? But if they were like that prior, you know what I mean? Like,
But you know what, Portia, they knew what they were getting into when they first got with the individual. I don't care what nobody say. I get tired
yeah,
of people always talking about this and that. You knew why you got, and I'm beyond with guys. Only why guys get with that because they fell in love. I won't say fell in love. They were lusting after that body. They were lusting after
yeah,
that chest. They were lusting after that behind, and then
mm,
that's all they wanted. And then
mm,
all of a sudden, oh, you need to stop doing that. But that's what you were drawn to,
exactly. It's what you were drawn to, and it's up to y'all to evolve to something else. Ain't nothing
right?
like a woman. Women have changed their whole identities for forever for a man, and we're not. um,
That's why I don't like Portia. I, I don't want to handcuff nobody. Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna shock a lot of people. And I heard this recently.
mm,
Y'all know we just temporary, right? me and you, we just temporary. When I say temporary,
Mm-hmm.
one of us could die today or tomorrow. What you gonna do then?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That just keep it real. That just keep it a buck here. We're
Mm-hmm.
just temporary. We're not permanently. We're temporary. Like you leave here today or tomorrow. What's going? I mean, life goes on.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of. I'm not dating. I'm not in a relationship with nobody. I'm just gonna put. I'm not seeing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to handcuff nobody.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to have your freedom. I want you to be able to do the things you were doing. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, people want to handcuff people. So why? You had
Right.
a life before I came in the picture. You had a life before me.
Yes, exactly. It's either we gonna add value or you gonna get devalued.
Right. Like go and still do things. Enjoy your life. Like if you going
Mhm.
out with friends, we don't have to
Yeah.
be around each other all the time like that.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go out. If you were saying, "Hey, Furman, I'm going to a concert with some friends. Hey, have a good time. Just let me. I talk to you when we get home." That's just me.
right.
But people feel
Right.
like they got to handcuff people.
It's maturity and security. If somebody gonna do you wrong, as long as you came out of it straight, that's all what I always say. Like if somebody do you wrong and you did everything right or whatever, But yeah, I agree. I don't have I always like I never like when a man don't have nothing to do.
Yeah,
Like
that's
like you don't got nothing to do but try to be all up my ass. Like and I like space. I like space, but I like to be close. But I also like
right,
space. Like
right,
and I don't like to talk all and I don't like to feel obligated to have a conversation all the time. You know what I
right.
mean? Like it's all about the respect of the individual. You know?
Yeah, yeah, it's that because that's what I understand. You still, and I see a lot of guys too. I was talking about I'm a good guy. What makes you good? If you talking
Hmm.
about what makes you
Hmm.
good because you go to work, you pay your bills, you're just responsible. That's all that is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
They
Because
quit to
that
holler it
part
out. They quit to holler
that
it out. I got a good job. I pay bills. I got my
you
own
paying
place.
that's what you're
But
supposed to do. Unless
you
you
just being
like to live at home.
you just being responsible. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a good guy. But I don't want to be around each other like that all the time. We got even though yeah, we together and we gonna do our thing together because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be me and you against the world, and I'm all for that. But also you
Mm.
have your own individual lives too. I mean,
Yeah.
go out, enjoy yourself, do your thing. And
Yeah.
guys gotta realize too, and if you're the guy, fellas, she's not gonna step out on you because she know who you are. You ain't gotta do all that extra stuff. Who you going to see? And all nah. If you're the guy
Mm-hmm.
and you the man and you're
Mm.
about your business, she's not going nowhere.
That is so true. That is so true. Like literally laid out and true. Laid out and true. I always just say whatever you do in the dark gonna come to light. So if you did
Right.
something to me, it'll come out. Like
That's it.
that's
Cause
it.
I don't because I'm like this, Portia. It's just me. I'm not going through your phone. I don't need to go through your phone. For what? What
Right.
that's just me.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care. So it's like, why I need to go for I need to go to your phone and man, that's some and I ain't that's let me tell y'all something too that's listening. If y'all in that type of relationship, that's not normal. Why be in a relationship that we're not getting along with each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just me. No, people,
Yeah.
oh man, that everybody have these issues now because y'all going to stuff blind. I'm talking on what the guys do. The
Mm-hmm.
guys get so caught in out of parents as we I don't want to say older, but as we mature in life, I look at character, your personality,
Exactly.
and they're cause you can look good physically, but you could be jacked up character
No,
wise.
yeah. Yep. And that's how I feel when people open their mouth. Like I've some of the people I've talked to and it's like, what? Huh?
Turn you
Why does
off.
why does that make sense to you? But you know what? That's right. 2 plus 2 is 5. Yep. And
Mm.
I can't do it. I
Wow. But let me
I
ask you
can't.
this: do guys find? But I know you do the poetry, and I know
Mm.
do guys find you intimidating?
Yeah,
Male, I'm gonna say males. Male, I won't say a
yeah.
man, but
I mean,
males.
I get a mix. Like I've been doing my best to be like to give a little bit of conversation to men, and if they like, I've experienced a couple of busts in the DMs. They seem to be cool in the DM, and then you get on their phone, they got your number, and they do like they be something else. So it's like, And so I mean, for me personally, I I don't like to talk a lot. I mean, I like to talk like we're talking,
Right.
interview, you know what I mean? But small talk, I'm not big on that. It's
Yeah.
like we going to talk about, something something real or no, like cuz I don't care. I mean, don't I don't yeah, it's a lot of stuff I don't care about. So it's like I just I can't I find I have my soul tribe, like the folks that I talk to. Um you there?
I'm here.
Oh no.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. uh, okay. I have the folks that I can talk to, male or female, and a lot of my friends, like people who know me, they know
Hmm.
that we might not talk a lot, but when we get together, it's a story, and it's like we
Right.
just pick it up. But it's kind of I'm just when it comes to new people, especially men, I am being more open to, like I said, give a conversation as long as they're not saying dumb stuff to me. But I've
Right.
had some dumb stuff said to me, and it's like, okay, you're blocked. You're blocked. And
But
the thing is, though, I listen to the words that are coming out of people's mouths. Like I'm like, there's times where oh goodness, the one thing I heard, oh my goodness, it's like what, but then I realized, I said, you know what, you haven't talked to people who don't know you like that in a long
hmm
time. You know what I mean? Like there's people that know me and I could bust it up, and there's people who don't know me that want to get to know me, and it's like I just have to continue to make myself aligned with the proper folks that will we will reciprocate, what it is. You know what I mean?
right.
Because right, you know what I mean? Because right now, I'm just I say it's being weeded out on to keep having a conversation with this individual or not.
Hmm.
Especially knowing me because I have other things to be concerned with. So it's like, do I want to go on a date? Yes, of course I want to go on a date. Yeah. Um, do do men? I have to weed out what they paying attention to on my social media. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, are you paying attention to the fact that I am an author, or are you just paying attention to my ass? Either or, I
Mm.
don't care. I mean, I truly don't. I don't care. Like if you look at, like, I don't. It's like if all you see is my ass and ooh, I'm getting to talk to her and ooh, and then
Oh
you
yeah.
start talking and you start talking to me and you realize that this ass got a brain and it ain't easy because the misconception is that I'm easy.
Hmm.
And that's, you know what I mean, based on what you see when I decide to show my ass. And that's the complete opposite. I am really not easy. And if I appeared easy to you, it's only because I knew what I wanted to do with you. Because I looked at you as a slut. Because men don't know that. Women, if we decide we only want a fling, we know who to do the fling with.
Right.
You know what I mean? The men be mad at it, but for me personally, right now, it's just I claim nobody. So I'm a free agent, and I'm just aligning myself with what's important, but not opposed to getting to know people.
Right. And that's what it's all about. It's all about getting to know people, knowing where you at, and just not be afraid. And that's what it is. A lot of people are
Mm-hmm.
afraid to be themselves. Just I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the only thing this person can tell you is yay or nay. That's the only thing they can tell you, yay or nay. And they tell you no, that's fine. They tell you yeah, that's fine. Just move on. Know your value, know your worth, know who you are, be confident who you are, and with
Yep.
or without, you still gonna have a good time. You still gonna walk with your head up high. You still gonna walk with your chest out because you know who you are.
Yep.
And still have a good time with it. And that's what it's all about. Just really having a good time. And I know you have some books out. I know we had a good conversation on here, but I know the Diary of a Former Sex Addict, and I know that's a book that you wrote years prior. So how did it all come about too for people that didn't know about the book? But
Uh,
just give us a rundown on the book. And I know you did another book called Harsh Terminology, and I think you did a part two as well, right?
for
Part
okay,
two.
so for the Diary of a Former Sex Addict, it's parts one and two,
Mm-hmm.
and harsh terminology. I'm actually currently writing a part two. I wasn't going to at
Okay.
first, but I was like, I could give this a part two because I really do love the book. Like harsh terminology. I really love. I like it a lot too. And then I've done Lovely Only Crazy Part One. What else? I did a children's book called Whittle the Duck, which is based off my niece. Um, what else? I've done like I said, I've done one book. It's a short read. It's an ebook. It's called The Danger Zone, and that's coming out on the 30th. And
Okay.
I've done other short reads that are on Kindle Villa through Amazon, but Kindle Villa is about to be like gone. Amazon sent an email about. So some of those things I may just turn into short read ebooks as well.
Okay.
So I've written a lot of I love to write. So I've written a lot of stuff. That's the best way to put it. But the books that are out is The Diary of a Former Sex Addict, parts
Mm-hmm.
one and two, Harsh Terminology, Lovely Lonely Crazy, part one, and Introducing Whittle the Duck. That's the children's book. So
Right. So let
and
me ask you this too before we go
mm,
further. I know that when you wrote the book, The Diary of a Former Sex Addict, did people thought that was about you? 'Cause I know them are characters
oh
that
yeah,
you. So did you
yeah.
get that all the
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, people always thought that people think the book is about me. It's not. It is. I mean, there's different things in there that, little different things about me, but not directly. It's more so a book about there could be a Tiffany living next door to you and you
True.
would never know. You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
it's literally a good I'm gonna call it a good hood book, not because it's ghetto, but because it's telling a story about someone that is going through life. One thing about me, I grew up in the hood, and there were people that lived next to me, around me, that lived better than me, but we were all in the same area. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's everybody's story is different. So
Right.
um I just decided to write something relatable for people to put a spark in. And it's drama that, mama messed up, dad trying to do right. I wrote about a man being a good man for the most part. I don't try to, bash the men. The secrets that families hold, the enablers of family members. It's it came about, it just was a story that was in my head that I had to get out. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize that I wrote two books. I just kept writing it. And then when it's self-published, but I used a company that helps you self-publish. And
Okay.
she was like, "Oh no." She was like, this is not one book, this is two. I was like, "What?" So we just picked the odd spot to stop, because my one of the things I like doing as an author is writing, leaving cliffhangers, make you
Mm-hmm.
mad, want more. So we picked a weird, like an odd part to stop. Here, you see my cat. She had to put herself in, and she just. But yeah, we just. I mean, yeah, shout out to Odessa because she's the person who helped me put out my first two books. And we got it out there. I dropped those books basically. First book came out December, and then the second book came out July of the following year. So within like
Hmm.
6 months, I dropped two books. So and that was fun. And then the rest of the books are just like Harsh Terminology, Lovely, Lonely, Crazy, and Will of the Duck. They're strictly just me and some help that I had with getting someone to do the book cover and edit and things like that. So
That's what's up. And I know Tiff. I know you talk about the girl Tiffany, and I know Tiffany was sexually assaulted by her
yes.
uncle, and we
Mm-hmm.
know that that has happened in life. We know that
It,
goes on, and I know that her dad was the dad walked in, killed his brother, which he
no,
was
that's
sexually
his
assaulted.
brother-in-law. He killed his
Oh,
wife's
his
brother.
brother-in-law, his brother-in-law,
Yeah, he killed
and
his wife's brother.
and then the mother blamed the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that
Mm-hmm.
stuff goes. But we know that this is stuff that happens with every day, and it's
Mm-hmm.
happening right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I
Literally.
said, he wrote it. Well, people have can relate to that. Like, wow, that happened to me, or that experienced that. So you always was always in touch with reality, right? So I know, okay, I know these people are
Yeah.
going through. Let me write about it, but also bring forth healing,
Yeah.
therapy. And I know we have a lot of trauma because we have a lot of people, especially when it comes to relationships. We have people who were childhood trauma, where they
Yeah.
was physically abused,
Yep.
mentally abused, sexually abused. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? These are things that we don't talk about. Especially from a guy perspective, if he was sexually assaulted by another
Yep.
man, he's not gonna tell her about it. But a woman would say, "Hey, I was sexually assaulted by this, and that person."
Mm-hmm.
But this guy, he went through that in his life. But then later on the road, he'll open up and say, "Hey, I went through that." So do you get a lot of that feedback too? Where guys, "Hey, I went through that in my life, and I was afraid to share that, and I didn't want to be looked down on, and because this stuff is real."
No, it is. And I don't I think only one person came close to telling me about themselves being like a man being
Mm-hmm.
sexually assaulted some time ago. And it was like no one, like you said, when it comes to men, it's not taken as seriously. It's almost as if it's supposed to be welcomed if a woman does that to a man. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
and and that's not the case. That's not cool at all. So I don't get the men much, but I have, someone has opened up to me in reference to that before. Other than that, female wise, I mean, I know a few people who, went through sexual assault with family, like serious trauma, rape type stuff, and
Right.
being being accused. And it
Right.
wasn't, you know what I mean? And I find it to be sad that a person would actually go along in their life feeling like, yeah, that was my fault. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Especially when they're a child.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they really, So as much as the Diary of a Former Sex Addict is, about some sexual encounters and things like that, it's like a lot of decisions that Tiffany had to make at a very young age, and the life that she got into wanting to escape, how her family pretty much fell apart. It wasn't much of a family, but it fell apart when her father decided to save her.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? Because that's pretty much what he did. He saved his child from that part. You know what I mean? Not fully. I mean, he reacted. I mean, I wrote that like I felt like writing it that way would be more dramatic and something that I know that a person would have loved, maybe possibly have happened for them if someone
Mm-hmm.
actually came and saved them. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and that's how I felt like I'm going. She going to be saved on that aspect. She still got a lot of other things to go through when because I'm like, this ain't no fairy tale, but at least she knew, at least somebody care, somebody give a damn about her. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
there's stories where real life people where didn't nobody give a damn about them, and there are books written like that too, where didn't
Yeah.
nobody give a damn about them. So I felt like let me make it like at least somebody, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
cared about and paid, and that it was paid attention to.
Right.
That.
It's true. And it is true. And that you was talking, just thinking about it. Be careful. We get not. I'm gonna say be careful, but it's always knowing who we get involved with
Mm-hmm.
because people react to childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to talk about these things. Everybody, ooh, she looks good, he looks good, but have you really sat down and had these discussions with someone? And that's
Yeah.
the thing we don't do. We don't talk about these things. We don't talk about, okay, your upbringing. Do you have a relationship with your family?
Mm-hmm.
What things trigger you? What things may send you off on the deep end? These are things we have to know about each other before we
No.
say,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's how people get cold call. Like, oh, I ain't signing for all this. Would they say we put on that best representative?
Yeah.
We'll say the
Mm-hmm.
right things, but we need to
Mm-hmm.
have some open dialogue. I'm going biblical here for a moment too. The Bible said Adam and Eve was naked and they was not ashamed. And that's what we
Uh-huh.
have to get to the point now. We have to be naked and not ashamed. Stop judging ourselves. A lot of times that's what we do too. We pass judgment on ourselves too quick.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna look at me different. Oh, I'm not worthy enough. Oh, I'm not good enough. So we
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. I think, matter of fact, you talk about that in the harsh
Harsh
terminology.
terminology,
Like I said,
exactly.
why me? I
Yep.
hate myself. Do I love him? It's over. I'm not good enough. These are things that we say upon ourselves. We know words are powerful. Oh, I hate myself. You think you
Yes.
better than me? I'm not good enough. Do you think you
Yeah.
know? Like, and these stuff that we say about ourselves.
Yeah. That when I wrote harsh terminology, that was another story in my head that I wanted to get out real bad because, a lot of times that book is really about people living in their truth. And of course there's drama in it because, but it's about three married couples. All of them are married and they're not all living in their truth.
Mm,
And part two is like a continuation with some new characters, of course, of people not not living in their truth, coming out, and a follow-up on what happened to the characters afterwards, of course, you know but I enjoy writing it that way because it's a deeper meaning, deeper purpose. I'm not just writing a bunch of drama. I'm working on like healing and touching
that's
somebody.
important. That's important.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like letting the male or female know like it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay.
yeah,
I don't know you, but it's okay. Like you'll get through. You
yeah,
know,
you're gonna get
I
through.
Yeah. Sometimes when you write it just like that, it isn't clicked. It don't click in people's brains. But if you write it
Hmm.
relatable, right, like something that may not have happened to them directly, but they may know someone or whatever the case may be, and it clicks. It goes.
Right.
It's like something will reside with you. And
Hmm.
that's literally always my goal. That's why I write. Just,
Right. And
mm,
that's it. And involved with the times, growing, growth, involving. That's what we want to do. Like I said, excel in all that we do. Everything we do, we want to put in 1,000% in all that we do. And like I say, I encourage those who listen to, like those who watching us on Instagram, all the way to Facebook. Get in touch with Dick New Goddess. Oh, you got an upcoming event coming up as well. Also,
yeah.
she's in Philadelphia, so get with her. Follow, getting updates on books, um, poetry shows. I write a
Mm-hmm.
poetry as well. This is great for couples to go to. I believe husband, wives, whatever. Gotta go to these things, um, and it just explore, enjoy each other on that level sexually. You're supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Make it fun, make it unique. Go to these stores. You know what I'm saying? Stop being afraid. People are so
Afraid, right?
afraid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
stop being afraid. Because a lot of people have fantasies. Some people have a lot of fetishes. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
talk about these things with your partner. You know what I'm saying? These are things you need to talk about. These are things you need to address, you know. Or and
Mm-hmm.
I know they got I know here in Dallas there are classes for couples to help
Oh,
touch
okay.
no in their sexuality and stuff like that. They can enjoy each other on that level. Because a lot
That's
of people
good.
they be so shy, so timid. They
Mm-hmm.
feel like learn. That's the problem. We so close minded. Learn how
Mm-hmm.
to be open minded.
Open minded.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Be open minded. And I realize being healthy plays a role when it comes to sex. So make sure we all that stuff plays a role too. Being healthy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And these are like I said once again, Portia. These are things that we're not talking about. These are things that we're not discussing because
Mm-hmm.
of what. Oh, I'm feel like I'm be judged. No, let your guard down. Be open minded. Talk about
Mm-hmm.
these things and be free. And a lot of
Yeah.
people still walking down with them shackles mentally
Yeah.
and scared to be free. What you want to say about that one being free?
What I want to say to them about that is, in order for you to be free, you gotta be in, like, really, like, be for real on who you are. Like, stop denying it. There are people out there who will deny the fact that they really might enjoy something that may seem so outrageous, but it's actually pretty normal. That's the best way
Right.
to put it. You know what I mean? Like, be normal, be free, like, acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge yourself. Like, in order to learn yourself, especially when it comes down to like sexuality type stuff, um, I say play with yourself first. Take it from there. Yeah, I mean, on a sexual level, because then you be able to, and then you can express, you know what I'm so
Yeah, that's it. You know, there's nothing wrong with
yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get so scared of that. Like,
like no, like
and you're
how,
supposed to
how
release yourself fluid, especially guys. You have to release yourself. You just can't walk around, don't do it. You have to release yourself. You got to release that. I'm just saying, if they just study the signs of it, you have to release it. You know what I'm saying? Once you release, you feel a whole lot better. 'Cause we're adults here. You know what I'm saying? Just people
no,
just got to stop
yeah,
being
it's true.
afraid. And
No, yeah, no, you're not saying a lie. Not, not at all. Not at all. What for
I,
women too? We gotta release ourselves too, whether men know it or not. Like, we do too. It's just, it's more for us. We tend to get real comfortable with releasing with ourselves.
yeah.
Especially when you sleep with somebody, a person who's not sexually in tune, and they don't do it right, you going, and then they get mad when you talk about how you prefer your toy over them because they're not trying to be sexually in tuned and learn because they think they know it all already when it comes to that. And it's like, nah.
Why
Mm-mm.
is just being afraid? Why are they so? That's why I said, why they gotta have permission? Y'all together. Why they gotta have permission to touch you? Why they gotta have permission? Now I'm saying have permission, but it's like they gotta ask you for permission. Like, is it okay to touch you here? Is it not take the initiative? Like,
And
just
just try it and see. If they don't like it, they'll say. Especially if y'all together. No, seriously.
I was saying
Like,
y'all to get.
yeah.
Like they,
If they don't like, if there's something, I mean, I've experienced it. I'm like, I didn't like when you did that. That wasn't my choice. I didn't like it. But you gotta be. I think the problem is if a person does say that to their partner, then it's like they go into like a shell of rejection instead of like a learning session. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. And for men who want to learn, a woman will teach you. For men who want to learn, you know, and there are some women that feel like you should already know for whatever reasons, but I've experienced men who've had bad sex until they had sex with me, and it's something totally different because I care to know the art of what I'm doing, you know.
right?
So it's a
Yeah,
at the end of the day, whether we want to admit it or not, as people, it's an art. Like, The body is a work of art. Sex is an art. It's an exchange of energy, and it is an art. Because there are plenty of people who, you try to have me up past my bedtime. There are plenty of people who will pass along to you their trauma because they ain't healed. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
womb and semen and creation. That all happens if you're not wearing no condom, that all happens down there. Creation possibly can happen. So
Right,
imagine two unhealed people creating a child out of unhealed, out of trauma,
right. You know,
trauma bonding. You
you
trying to
right
me up
about.
here,
Hey,
so I did stop getting into
well,
that.
we
Come
about to
on.
ready to go. Cause I'm not gonna hold you up at your bedtime and stuff. But I know you got the. Before I let you go, I know you got the show. I know you're in Philadelphia, but I know you got the show coming up. So for
Mm.
those that's in the surrounding areas, go and talk about the show. And I'm about to get let you go because I know you're a very, very productive woman. So I'm not gonna hold you up at your bedtime. So go ahead
Yeah.
and plug in the show you got coming up this weekend.
Okay, so on November 16th, that's Saturday, it's called the Thick Nubian Goddess and Friends Experience. It's called the Heroes Mark Enterprise, 5091 Umbria Street, Philadelphia, PA. Doors open at 7. The show starts at 8. So basically we're doing open mic for all artists first, and then there's feature artists, including myself. So I have, like I said, Ken Jones. He's a comedian and a poet. And then I have Pascal Songbird. He's a singer and he plays instruments. So it's gonna be a good time. And we have vendors, of course. And the price to get in is only $10. $10. Sign up for open mic. You know, if you want to just come and watch, $10. If you want to pay at the door, $10. If you want to pay in advance through my Cash App or the Eventbrite might cost you a fee, but just $10 for a good Saturday night. And I'm bringing it erotic because I can't wait to perform like in my true form. So
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. I appreciate you, Portia. I know you got to, your bed. I want to hold you,
Yeah.
but I appreciate you. Though. I really do
I know
appreciate you.
your
Like,
time is earlier, but my time is
yeah, I know, right? But
yeah.
I know. But I appreciate you again. But
Hmm.
we're about to get ready to depart. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here tomorrow night, along with my co-host out of Miami, Florida, with Miss Nancy C, the Kingdom Chick herself. We'll be back with tomorrow. Also, I will have Mr. U, and I'll have Carl Roberts. They got an event coming up, International Man's Day. It's going to be taking place this Saturday here in Arlington, Texas. I got the award, the honorees going to be on here tomorrow night talking about the upcoming event this coming Saturday here in the DFW. So, man, y'all be a part of that. So, we're talking about some men things on tomorrow night. So, looking forward to that as we chop it up. Once again, Portia, I thank you. Go ahead and plug your social media information as well, and I'm finna really let you go.
All right. So my Instagram, which is what I prefer for people to follow me on, is thick THICK Nubian NUBIAN goddess GODDESS. So I will to see y'all on my gram. Thank you for having me. As always, keep doing what you're doing. I am always appreciative. Like I said, it's cool to know that some folks in Texas like me. So
Man, hey, awesome. I appreciate you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we out this thing. Man, you have a great night, and I will see y'all tomorrow night here on Walking This Way Impact Boys Podcast. Peace, everybody.
thank you. Thank you. Good night.